The EU has decided to compete with China in the economy, reports Dünya. The first Global Portal Forum will be held in Brussels next week. This project was created as an alternative to the One Belt, One Road initiative, which aims to turn Europe into a global transport hub. The EU is preparing to compete with China's One Belt, One Road initiative. Next week, the EU will host the leaders of some 20 partner countries in Brussels to review the Global Gateway project, the foundations of which were laid by European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen in 2021. The ultimate goal is to turn Europe into a global transport hub. The EU is taking action to counter the One Belt, One Road project launched by China in 2013 to become a world trade leader. On the 25th to the 26th of October this year, the EU is holding the first summit in Brussels to make the Global Gateway project, announced for the 1st of December 2021, a reality. The meeting will be attended by the leaders of 20 partner countries, as well as heads of non-EU states such as Bangladesh, Senegal, Namibia and Moldova. An EU official, speaking on condition of anonymity, told Bloomberg that the governments of Egypt and the Democratic Republic of Congo had also been invited, but that no positive response had yet been received from either country. It is worth noting that the EU's Global Gateway Summit comes just a week after a forum in China marking the 10th anniversary of the One Belt, One Road initiative, which was attended by representatives from 130 countries. Against this backdrop, international agencies are using headlines such as EU project becomes rival to China's 10-year investment program. The author of the Generation Initiative is the President of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen. The project has a budget of up to €300 billion, or $322 billion. Private and public infrastructure projects in countries that promote green transformation will be supported. The only criterion is that the projects must meet sustainability requirements. The aim is to break China's influence in the transport and supply chains of world trade and to make the EU a global transport hub. In other words, to support a global infrastructure plan, competing with China in strategic regions, competing with Beijing through infrastructure and connectivity projects in developing countries. Bloomberg commented on the global portal the EU wants to strengthen ties with some member states amid the risk of growing interference from China or Russia in its backyard, as well as their key role in providing critical materials and combating illegal migration. The summit, which takes place next week, will also be attended by senior representatives of the EU's largest companies, including Orange, Allianz, Alstom, Danone, Enel, Siemens and Telefonica. The forum will include discussions on green energy, education and research, key raw materials, transport corridors, healthcare, manufacturing and digital infrastructure. Chinese leader Xi Jinping, in a speech marking the 10th anniversary of the One Belt, One Road initiative launched in 2013, announced $100 billion for the trade corridor by 2033. On the day that the world's attention was focused on the attack on the Al-Ali hospital in Gaza, the 18th of October, an important summit was held in the Chinese capital, Beijing, a forum to mark the 10th anniversary of the Belt and Road Initiative. The project, which aims to transport Chinese goods around the world by sea and road, was launched in 2013. Since then, 130 countries, including Turkey, have become members of the initiative. At a forum attended by representatives of all these countries, the Chinese president outlined what would be done in the next 10 years and announced $100 billion for the new period. According to Xi, the funding will be provided by the China Development Bank and the Export-Import Bank of China, the lending institutions for One Belt, One Road, through the project, also known as the Modern Silk Road. Beijing has so far signed contracts worth more than $2 trillion worldwide. China, which has made various infrastructure investments in Asia and Africa to create a trade corridor, has been accused of pushing poor countries into debt to the tune of $300 billion. On the other hand, on the 10th anniversary of the Belt and Road Initiative, Xi Jinping announced an 8-point action plan to update and promote it. Speaking at a forum in Beijing, Xi Jinping outlined steps to revamp China's initiative to revive East-West trade along the historic Silk Road route and ensure high-quality cooperation. First, the initiative, which began with land and sea routes, will be transformed into a multi-dimensional communication network, according to the Chinese leader's statement, which includes further developing the China-Europe Railway Express line from land routes, promoting joint efforts to establish international transport corridors across the Caspian Sea, and building a new logistics corridor linked to roads and railways on the Eurasian continent. Xi Jinping also announced the expansion of a maritime route called the Maritime Silk Road by integrating new ports and shipping with trade services, as well as stepping up efforts to build the new International Land and Sea Trade Corridor and the Air Silk Road to memoranda of understanding with the Democratic Republic of Congo and Zambia are expected to be signed at next week's EU summit. The aim is to activate the Trans-Africa Corridor, a railway project that will link Angola, the DRC and Zambia, and allow raw materials and minerals to be transported across the Atlantic. The Global Gateway project envisages investment in the following critical sectors: digital technology, climate and energy, freight transport, health and education research. Author Emre Ergel.